What it is, guys, your boy, Alanizing, no episode of Alanizing today. Alan Slodio here with y'all, talking about Mexico in la Copa Oro 2023. And go over, how I think they win all their games. And then in the end, I'm going to give over my review, how I think the Copa Oro is going to reshape the federation and, the Seleccion going forward. And who I think played bad and who I didn't. We'll see, But let's start off with Mexico versus Honduras. So Mexico beat them 4-0. And they heard all the criticism, the players, right? They heard all the criticism. They heard all the noise that came their way, which is deserved, okay? Because after that 3-0 smashing to the U.S., because they left all that anger on the field, right? They started off hot right from the whistle. Luis Romo scored in the first minute. That pretty much dictated the whole game as the goals started flowing, and Mexico just dominated from there, right? I thought, of course, it was just a classic revenge game. There's a new coach, so there's a new energy. And it was against Honduras, all right? No offense to Honduras, but they're on not the same level as Mexico. So I was saying, everyone needs to slow down. Everyone needs to slow down. Let's see what they continue to do. In the second group stage game versus Haiti, they beat them 3-1. The first half, it was a bunch of shots, no goals, which is kind of the problem we have. If they don't start off fast, the game just lollygags for them. And in the second half, Henry Martin, he scored right away, and then they scored 2 more goals. It was an own goal by Ade, and then El Bebote finished them 3-1. All right, Uriel Antuna, 2 assists this game. Pretty good for him, okay? It's significant due to all the backlash and hate he's been getting, bro, since the USA game, or even before that. A lot of people didn't like him. And look, I never liked him either, right? People always ask why he plays. I'm not really a big fan, but this is why he plays. He's fast. That's literally it. He's fast. Speed kills. The speed can kill you in possession. It can kill you on counter. He can get the ball, pass his marker, go to goal, look for a goal, or pass. That's simple. His speed is why he's on the team. But after the game, I'm thinking alright, team looks good under a Lamborghini. And then the 1-0 loss versus Qatar. Levi's is cursed for Mexico, man. Most of our embarrassing defeats, and the most embarrassing defeat, has been at Levi's. Their overall record at Levi's is 2 wins. The one win versus Iceland 2018, the other versus Paraguay in 2019. 1 draw versus Chile in 2014, it was 0-0. And the 3 losses have been the one versus Chile in Copa America Centenario, where we lost 7-0, the notorious 7-0. Versus Colombia 2022 when we lost 3-2. I was there. I witnessed the comeback. That was horrible. It was horrible, and then this one versus Qatar. Just awful losses. All right, versus Qatar, 23 shots for Mexico. 6 on target. 0 goals. While Qatar, 1 shot. 1 shot on target. 1 goal. Humiliating, man. What a stat line. Miss after miss for Mexico, but Qatar, as soon as the header presented itself, Shahate scored it, and Qatar, they just sat back and defended in a low block, basically parked the bus, and they time wasted. After that, a lot of Mexican fans were salty. They were complaining after the game, but listen, guys. Qatar, dude, they're ranked 58. Number 58 in FIFA rankings, okay? Against your team, of course it's annoying to watch. And for the neutral, it is as well. But this is how you play versus the better team. That's how you play. Hate the game, not the player/team, alright? That's how it is. That's how the game goes. And the quarterfinals, Mexico went against Costa Rica, and they beat them 2-0, alright? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I did not make time. I did not make it in time to watch this game. I just know Pineda and El Chiquito Sanchez, they scored. And this is a game where Jimmy, he put in Montes and Vasquez as a starting center back pairing, which we did pretty well, especially versus that Jamaica-Mexico game where they beat them 3-0. The big topic before the game was the front Premier League 3 of Leon Bailey, Mikel Antonio, and Damari Gray. They got shut down by Montes and Vasquez, bro. 8 clearances combined for both of them. Mexico started off fast with Henry's goal in the second minute. Mexico never let go of the rope, okay? That led to Chavez's spectacular free kick. And Jamaica, they just could never recover. They could never get back in the game. The final Mexico versus Panama, it was an intense, great game. Panama proved why they were there, why they were in the final. Especially the first few minutes, it was very even, all right? Henry's goal was ruled offside in the 33 minute. It was close, but I think the refs got it right. And the refs, they were pretty good this game. They were pretty good when Jorge Sanchez dove in the penalty box. Correct decision. No foul. He dove. And then when Orbelín, in the second half, he tripped by himself. The ref gave a foul versus Panama, but then he reversed it. Also correct decision. Second half, the intensity continued. Mexico had more of the ball, and they played better in my opinion, right? The game plan was clearly to cross, and we were looking dangerous in the crossing game. 8 accurate crosses and 17 accurate long balls. We just couldn't hit them. We couldn't hit them towards the goal. Panama got too narrow while defending, and they just left the flanks wide open. Well, we could find room to cross. The fullbacks, Jorge and Gallardo, they're finding hella room to cross, and so was Orbelín and Antuna. Game was coming to the last 10 minutes. Jimmy takes off Henry for something Jimenez in the 85 minute, and 3 minutes later, El Machín. He clears a shot. It lands on Pineda. Pineda looks. He looks up. He passes it to El Bebote, who is by himself versus Cummings. And the hold-up play that Santi showed, incredible. He straight up bodies Cummings, controls the ball, turns left, sprints to the goal, left foot finish, game winner off the bench to win 1-0 and to win Mexico's 9th title in La Copa Oro. Now what's crazy is that Jimmy, his first sub, he took off Luis Chavez and put El Chiquito Sanchez. But I was actually calling him to take off El Machín instead of Chavez because he was not playing well this game. Machín was not. He was not playing well this game, and he had a yellow card while it's still 0-0. But Jimmy called his own shot. Lozano called his own shot. He called Chavez, and Edson was actually the one who deflected the shot and started the attack on goal and won the game. Crazy how things plan out, bro. Crazy. But let's start off with Jimmy. Alright, Jimmy Lozano. Congrats to him. Alright, though they haven't announced it, I think he for sure booked his role permanently. I said he either needed to win or play well losing in the final for him to get the job, and he got the former. He won. When he came in, clearly the team changed, alright? It was the same guys, the federation chooses it, but it was a different approach. He brought a different approach. He brought a different mentality. In the mental aspect, he's Mexican. And Edson and Santi have talked about it, that the players just relate more to him because he's Mexican, because he's new, fresh Mexican face. Me personally, in my opinion, I thought nationality doesn't really matter. It's just if the coach is a people's coach, he can get along with people, and he's just good overall, like a good manager. But I guess I was wrong, especially in this situation. I was just wrong. You could just tell that the players just liked him more, or got along with him more, or related to him more because he's Mexican. And that's how it is. I guess that's how it is. Tactically, in the tactical aspect, Jimmy went back to a 4-3-3. He implemented a high press, and he was focusing on possession, starting off fast, which is what Mexico's used to. The main difference between him and Tata on the tactical side, as they both had a 4-3-3 compared to Coca's 3-4-3. Lozano in his midfield, he likes his midfielders to be more box-to-box, more technical, so when attacking, they are higher up the field and outside of the box to shoot loose balls or to create something if the ball ever falls to them. An example, was the Chavez goal versus Honduras. It deflected off one of the Hondureño players, and he's right there. He's up top of the box where Lozano wants him to be. He slots it in for the goal. So the Federation should announce it soon. Okay, if they go on a different route and they don't give him the job, it's a mistake. And I already told y'all that the number one reason that Mexico isn't living up to their potential and is being held back is because of the Federation. You hear it here first. They should give him the job, and I think they will. I'm pretty sure they will. Edson. My boy Edson, he did not have a good cup overall, right? Versus Honduras, he was solid going in at center back for Montes, who was on a red versus the USA game. versus Aipi, he made mistakes. Edson did at the back. He made wrong passes that could have led to conceding goals. He was missing headers versus Qatar. And then when he got put back to CDM, dare I say, man, the midfield looks better without him? Because without him, Jimmy puts in Luis Romo at CDM. And then the two beside him, the two beside Romo is Chavez, who is a long passing, higher, he's a technical player, and El Chiquito Sanchez, who also plays higher, but he has a high motor presser who wins the ball back. So altogether, it works. The midfield works. Now the problem is that when Edson is healthy, Jimmy plays both Luis and Edson, and they want to play the same way. So you have two playing the same role, but the other component of the midfield is missing. That's the problem. Where Romo does better than Edson is that he can drop between the CBs, he can get the ball, and he starts to build up play as he is better build-up passer than Edson. But Machín is a better defender, the better player. So that problem really lies, because now you don't know what to put him, you know what to put Romo or Edson. But with Romo, we were looking better. But the reason I think that they don't look so good, or Edson doesn't look so good, is because at the moment, his confidence is extremely low. And I think that's why he's struggling. It could be the failed transfers to Chelsea and Dortmund. That's gone to his head or something. Or something else that's personal at his home. But you could just tell his confidence is low. And that's why I wanted him sub out in the final. It's sad to see who I think, along El Chucky, is our best and most important player in la Seleccion right now. But I think he'll get back into form. He just needs to regain his confidence. And that deflection that led to the goal, I think it will help him. And Jimmy too. Like, Jimmy has a lot of confidence in him. He's been bad, and Jimmy still trusts him. He puts him on the field because of his IQ, and he has quality. Like I said, I think he's like our most important player, our best player. So let's hope he gets better. I'm pretty sure he will. Just living a bad time. Let's see. Vasquez and Montes. A lot of hype between these two guys, all right? And there is, it's warranted, but we'll see. Well, you'll see my reasoning. Since Jimmy started this partnership versus Costa Rica in the quarterfinals, in the last 3 games, counting that game versus Costa Rica, 3 clean sheets with 6 shots on target allowed. Now, I know everyone is hyping them up, which is understandable, but when Edson was playing CB with Vasquez and then Reyes in the Qatar game, the first 3 games, 1 clean sheet, 4 shots on target allowed. 2 less than the Vasquez and Montes pair. Now, I think that speaks to El Machine's quality, all right? I'm literally saying he played poor, and they only conceded 2 goals with him playing. But most of all, I think it says we are overhyping the clean sheets, because the first 3 games, Memo only had 2 saves combined. And the last 3 games, he had 6 saves combined, which means that Memo was a huge part in those clean sheets. And who is the common denominator? Montes, all right? When Montes wasn't playing, there was less shots being given up. And I know it's nitpicking, because when he played, they didn't give up a single goal in la Copa Oro. But when he plays, Ochoa also has to clean more after him. So there's just like this error of when he comes in, more shots are being given up, and Ochoa has to be better. That's just how it looks. I know it's nitpicking, but that's what the stats are saying. The consistent, however, is Johan Vasquez. I like the guy, bro. He's a great defender. He's a good ball-playing center back. Not great. He's a good hustler. He's resilient. All games he played in, we won. And the one game he didn't play versus Qatar, we lost. And at 24 years of age, he's huge for that Seleccion going forward. Let's see what the future brings for him. Let's see how he gets better. Overall, I'm not satisfied, guys. Not satisfied. Like, yes, we won. How cool. We won a competition we always win, or at least we're supposed to win, and we have the most trophies in this tournament. It just looks better because of the context, all right? After the game versus the USA, we looked helpless. After being winless in 6 straight games. And everybody was in panic mode. What this win is to me is like a bandage on a gunshot wound. That's what it is. Like, job is not finished. And we cannot be satisfied by winning something we always win. The only worthy competition was Jamaica and Panama. Alright, the rest of the teams that were their B teams, especially the US. That was their B team. If you think this cleaned up everything, you think our problems are fixed, you are mistaken. Because if the Federation thinks like most of all I've seen on Instagram, they leave things the way that they are, it's gonna be the same mess. We won't pass a round of 16 in the World Cup. We will exit in bigger competitions, and the other countries, they're just gonna surpass us, like the US. Winning la Copa Oro is a step. Alright, pointing Jimmy as a manager is the next right step to take, which they haven't. The next step is to provide resources to nurture our talent, and to improve that talent. That's the next step, and we'll see if they do that. First, they gotta appoint Jimmy, though. I don't know why they haven't appointed him yet, but that's the first thing they gotta do. That was the episode, guys. That's the end of my thoughts of this Copa Oro. Tell me what y'all think of it. Tell me what you think of Mexico's performance in La Copa Oro. Tell me if you have different opinions from me. And see y'all in the next one.